This is what we refer to as the tiny house. When we first arrived, a priority was to have somewhere weatherproof and secure that we could put tools and materials in. So that is where the roof has come down. Doors, windows, window all need replacing. They're all rotten or missing. So back on the idea of security, this time for the tiny house. It's got a very wormy and very rotten front door. So I thought found this chest in the barn, and whilst it's all rotten at the top on one end, this side of the barn the roof has gone in, but underneath and inside the timbers look half decent. So I'm wondering whether, with a bit of ingenuity and creativity, I can knock it down. Timbers are about 20mm, and there's enough planks, front and back sides, should be able to make the face of a door, and probably the bracing and the diagonals. And we'll do it all from scrap timber, which came with the property. So yeah, let's give it a go. That, I think, has got every possibility. Right, I'll take it down to the bench down by the house. This is the improvised workbench that I've made up. It's a nice convenient position. It's in the shade, quite nicely situated underneath the wall of the bathroom. It's actually the door of the bathroom that was very rotten at the bottom, so I had to cut it off. I was thinking of using this door possibly for the tiny house, but having had to cut the bottom off, it's only 150, so that's not going to work, hence needing to make up another one. The second day, things start to get interesting, because now I've got to find a piece of stock timber that's going to make the upper part of the door. I've used the long planks to make the lower section, and this bit is what was the lid of the box, and you can see the strengthening bit in the middle. I figured out that might make a decent pull-to for the door as a door closer. So it got into a bit of calculation, trying to find enough of the right dimensions to make it work. Another complication is that I'm now working with a bunch of mismatched materials, different thicknesses, some of it rotten in places, so finding the good bits to work with and making it look like it was meant to be there in the first place starts to get a bit complicated. I also have to make it a bit more structurally sound than it is as a bunch of odd planks. So bracing both horizontally and diagonally is necessary to keep it together. What I'm not showing on these videos is that when I did get it together, it still had a bit of flex in it, so I needed to adjust to put some vertical bracing in as well. But that's when it really started to get necessary to concentrate, so I didn't really film that bit. When fitting the diagonals, you really need to have a bevel gauge just to get the angles right, and I made a bit of a mess with an earlier job and dropped my digital bevel gauge onto the floor. It never worked again. So Leroy Merlin's, the local big box hardware store, provided the most wonderful etched solid metal, real old school piece of kit, and it's lovely. Using that, lining it all up properly, cut into angle. The diagonals were easier to fit than I thought. The rest of it got a bit more complicated and went through several stages of refresh and review.
And the tiny house door shuts. Wow.